Hi, just looking at your business card here, Caitlin. Looks pretty good. I almost want to see this maybe just bump down a little bit. Just a teeny bit. I do notice there's an issue with the E. You can grab this and just make the fill color white. That would be a quick way of fixing that. In Illustrator, you could use the shape builder tool and push Alt down or Option, depending on if you have Windows or Mac, and then click on that, once you get the minus sign in Illustrator to get rid of that shape. But you can also do the workaround by just filling that shape with white to fix that. You'll want to do that here too. Change that to white using the swatches panel over here. It works pretty well. So one thing about this, I really think it's working pretty well, but you are very close to the edges on a couple of these. So you'd want to fix that. You might have a little bit too much going on this page. One thing that might help, let's see here, I guess I'm noticing, adding probably, some sort of punctuation at the end of that. Maybe making that lowercase. If you want to capitalize, I would do H, and B, I, and just, do them all. But if you're not going to, then just the A needs to be capitalized. This is a little too close to the bottom, so, you want to make sure that you're not, going to, and 8 is good, 10 is good. You might have to actually just grab all of these all at once, use the free transform tool, which helps to resize. Push shift on your keyboard and just grab from the corner and just size these down. Maybe not quite that much, because we don't want to go too small with our text, because you're probably going to have a lot of older clients potentially. You don't want to be potentially getting clients that can't read this. So this is still 8.456, which is perfect. That works. Yeah, so this all looks pretty good. Just make that smaller. I almost want to see a more simplified line. I know you changed the stroke on this, which I'm glad that you're experimenting with that, but I think it's almost becoming too busy with having a bunch of little lines as the stroke. There's already a lot of elements on this, and we do want to try and minimize the amount of things on this page at this stage, just because it is quite busy. Let's see here. So you do have a font here. I'm not sure if I notice it being used anywhere else on the design. And I'm not sure if it's matching anything. You might want to just try and, maybe just use this font. Let's see, Franklin Gothic, Demi Bold, or Demi Condensed. Too bad they don't have a, maybe an italic Franklin Gothic, but not a huge deal. You could just change the color if you're trying to create a little bit of, I'll just use that same red that you've been using. Maybe just change the color so it looks different than the other ones, if that's what you're wanting to do, differentiate it. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. I'm trying to think of other ways that you could potentially, simplify this. I don't know if this would look better on 2 lines. Maybe, and then you can make it a little bit bigger, which is not simplifying your design at all, but not sure if I really like that. Just something worth trying. Sometimes you don't know if it's going to look good until you try it. Let's see. It'd be kind of cool to play with the tracking on that, but I don't think it's necessary totally. Just trying to think of other things you could do here, but I think, just doing those small things is helpful. If you think you want to try it out, you could do, rectangle tool, drag out possibly a red box, arrange, send that to back, and then you could make everything on top of that white, potentially, if you thought that might look nice. It'd be one way of adding a little bit more color to the design. I don't necessarily think this will look better, but it might look better. So it might be worth a try. I'll try it now, just because I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. If I can get your graphic here selected as well. Oh, okay, that's not good. Okay, it's grouped. Let's see if we can ungroup it. So I pushed Shift on my keyboard and dragged over to deselect from the selection. I did have to ungroup before I did that. Then I can get that selected. Let's see if I can make this work here. Okay, there we go. And then we'll group that together, Command G or Control G on Windows. And then you can actually, you know, also group. But then let's see what this looks white. Yeah, that's not bad. And we could grab all of this. Oops. Okay, yeah, and just maybe move it over. We don't want to get too close to any edge in our design here, but let's just see what this is like. We want to make sure these are aligned, so we can align them through the vertical centers here in the alignment, pushing Shift on the keyboard to get both selected at the same time. Kind of center that inside of the colored background, or box that we have in the background, and then center the logo. You know, that might be kind of nice just for a little bit more color. We don't necessarily need the stroke on the box either. You could keep it there if you like it. You know, maybe moving this up, you know, so that it's in line with this line. You know, we could actually push Shift on our keyboard, get both selected, and align to the top edge of the box there. I would like to see this differentiated from the rest of the information because it's like the slogan, but there's not a lot of room to make it bigger. I did try it on 2 lines and I didn't think that looked good. I mean, it'd be nice to have maybe an italic, but unfortunately this only has regular. So I don't know if you can find another Franklin Gothic font that just has demi-condensed italic, potentially. That might help. But other than that, yeah, I think this looks pretty good. You might want to consider adding more color to this, but actually, you know, the white does remind me of like a medical purpose. So I think overall this is looking really good. You don't have to go with this background like this. I just wanted to try it out. I do kind of like it, but it's up to you. One thing we want to do when we create a background color though, we do want to bring it to that bleed line or past. If it goes past the bleed line, which is the red, when you push W on your keyboard, you see that red line that goes around where it's going to be trimmed to. You just want to make sure that background color goes to the bleed line. And yeah, Command S to save. Yeah, I think, you know, maybe something like this. At least some of those other changes I mentioned definitely want to take care of. Anyway, I'm kind of going a little long on this, so have a good Veterans Day. We'll talk to you later.